Steven, you know how I've been in and out of hospitals for the past week because my
Yes.
fiance was terribly injured? Yeah, it's been an ordeal. For those of you who've been keeping up to date and like asking questions about it and being supportive, thank you so much. She's been getting a lot better. She's walking with a cane now, instead of the walker. She's
Oh,
been
that's
using
good.
it, which is she's progressing, you
So
know.
it's healing. I'm guessing it's like a horribly torn muscle, right? Like
Yeah,
so.
dude, it's been terrible, whatever it was. But I will tell you, Steven, we had to go to see a physical therapist for like a checkup,
Mm.
right? And I have to like get this out really quick because it was just Steven, my life is a cartoon. It's like insane, okay? We're driving there. We finally get there. I have to drive kind of slow because every bump is excruciating to my fiance. She's even sitting on like this pad. She has, this pillow to protect her tailbone and everything. And it's still, no matter what I do, I just feel terrible. I'm just like, I'm the biggest villain in the world. I'm Lex Luthor to
Sir
your
Bumpington.
like, yeah, I'm the worst, and I feel horrible. Of course, she's like assuring me, well, she's like, stop making this about you, and I'm like, never. That's my whole job as a human. No, I'm kidding. But like, dude, but it sucked. I felt so bad the whole time. So we drive there, and we finally get there, and I pull up to the doors of the hospital, and I run around, and I help her get out, and I give her the walker, and I kick her to the curb, and I'm just kidding, of course. But no, so I park. No, but
Violently push her out of the vehicle. Why? Why would you do
why
such a
would
thing?
anyone do this? No, no. But I help her out of the car. I set her up with the walker, and I park the car, and I run back over. And by the time we do this, I'm like, all right, we're still on time for this physical therapy. We did this, like even driving slow, even like taking it easy, and like even with like how slow she's walking, getting her out of the car and everything, and like being as careful as possible. We're going to make it. We are at the counter. We are freaking here. Stephen, there's no one in line. There is no line. We are like, this is wonderful. This is a beautiful
In
situation.
and out, baby. We
In and
got
out.
here.
This is a hospital. I expected there to be this huge, like, Universal Disneyland style line that I'm of torture that we're just like, oh, this is part of the ride. No one's there, right? We're just like, yes. So we slowly snake our way around with her in our walker, and we look up, and there's one man at the counter who is being helped, and we're like, yeah, we're number two in line, baby. Like that's it. Like there's no one else. This
Number
guy,
two is a
he's
great place to be in a hospital line. That's like
yeah,
basically
first is the
number one.
worst, second is the best. That's the law of the land. Except for Steven. This man does the universal sign of I've been here a while and I'm not going anywhere, where he sets his elbows down on the
Oh
counter as he's
no.
talking, and he just starts like gesticulating with his wrists as he's talking. And I hear him, Stephen, this man. Now, okay. He also, to his credit, or in his defense, he also had a walker, so he's probably leaning because he's having trouble standing.
Low back is pain. Yeah.
Right, yeah, and I understand we're all in pain. Like everyone there has their own issues. They're all the hero of their own story, and they're all going through. But this man, Steven, begins asking for names of various employees. And when I say various, I mean he literally points across the room and goes, "What's his name?" And the person, the clerk says,
What the fuck?
"Well, yeah." He looks confused. He's like, "That's Mark or Justin or whatever he says." And he goes, "Would he say the same thing you're saying?" And I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't know. This is what we
So
walked
there
up.
might have been an issue as you were walking up, and like he had asked a question. The dude at the counter basically said something, and he's like, "Would Mark say this now?"
The
And like
freaking
he's
Mark said, "I trust Mark. I don't know about you yet." So he's like very confused, and he's like, "Yeah, I mean, he doesn't do what I. Yeah, yeah, man. He's just like trying to be like,
if he knew the
listen."
things I knew in the position that I'm in, he would
He
give you
would
the
say,
same answer I'm giving you. Yes.
100%. Like, I'm not pulling your leg. I'm not trying to make your day worse. I promise. This is terrible for me as well. Whatever you're frustrated about is also affecting me. I'm sorry. Like this stuff. And like, he's not being mean. He's not like a rude, like a cashier at like your retail store or whatever. He's trying to help this man. You can see it. And the man's just like, what about that guy? He couldn't help me either? Could you call someone? Maybe call the doctor, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, oh God. And I'm looking at my fiance and I'm just like, do you want me to go? I'll go grab one of those wheelchairs over there. And she's like, no, it's okay. So we're sitting there. Eventually, this man kind of steps to the side and we're like, yeah, it's time.
Zoom.
Yeah, like let's get in there, like while he's distracted by pointing out whatever other employees. So as we begin to make our like 4 foot journey, he steps in front of us
Oh God.
and he says, I have a hardship story for you. And we're like, we didn't sign up for this. Like, you don't know what we're going through. We don't, I like, what do you mean?
I'm on my fucking lunch break.
It was just so like that's how he starts, right? So we hear this whole stuff. We watch him point out all the employees and ask their names and all this stuff, and clearly they can't help him. He's like, "Ugh, I have to come back another day, and this isn't working, and I don't know what to do." And he's upset, and I get that. But then he steps in front of us, and we're already a couple minutes late now for our appointment. We're like, okay, it's fine. I'm sure they expect that to happen. This is a situation where it's not like they're gonna kick us out. It's we're fine. But he says, I have a hardship story. I took I took a bus here, and now I he says, I took a bus here and I need to get my prescription, but my prescription costs $20 and I only have $18. And he holds up money, and Steven, he has like three $2 bills in his hands.
Oh my gosh.
Steven, I'm not kidding. He has like
This
three,
guy. This
like,
guy.
okay, first of all, whatever. I don't mean to shame his $2 bill having
It's just I've only ever seen a $2 bill one at a time in my entire life.
that's what I'm
And
saying.
I
Like,
always just assume we all traded the same like
let's
five
see.
of them.
It's just one. There's only ever been one in the country, but we
There's like
all
it's like the Duncan McLeod of currency,
there can be
basically.
only one. Steven, this man, he's like, I just need the $20 for my prescription. I don't, he's like this, he's like, look, I'm sorry, this isn't like a scam. And I'm like, so I take out my wallet. I only have one single, I don't carry cash. I don't have my like
No
three
one does
$2
anymore.
bills.
Anytime
So
if I don't get tipped often at work, but when I do, it just goes. I have a lunchbox I keep it in. That's where
yeah,
my cash
that's,
goes.
yeah, me too. So it's not on me. So I'm like, I don't. So I look at my fiance. I'm like, do you have any cash on you? So she pulls out $1 and we hand him our $2 and he's
Collectively, we have brought you to 20,
like,
sir.
yeah. And his response is, oh, there might be change. And I'm like,
This is a Larry David sketch that was written for your life in this moment, wasn't it?
it is. So I'm just like, what do you mean there will be change? Like you specifically you stated
So
$20. We
he's
made
basically calling
$20.
out like how like in a movie, they're like, we only need $100,000 to win Globo Gym back, and it's like the grand prize is 100, but they're not factoring in like the taxes that get
This and
taken
all
out and
that
all that.
stuff.
This guy is like cutting through that BS. It's like, listen, I know the storyline says I need 20, but we both know that taxes exist in real life,
Yeah,
and I'm
dude.
gonna need some change too.
So, okay. So so Carly, she goes into her wallet and she finds a $5 bill and she's like, I have this, and he hands us back the $2 and he has the $5 and he's like, this isn't a scam, and I'm like, no one cares. I was like, at this point, take the $5.
Go get your script, sir.
Steven, this man goes, it's not a scam. He goes, it's
Now it's evolving from a Larry David sketch to an I think you should leave sketch. Like I'm imagining like Tim Meadows' character when he had like the I would have picked something better. Like
oh, dude. So this man, he's like, it's not a scam. He goes,
enough
here,
time.
here, and he takes out Steven.
Oh God.
Takes out this
What the
10,000.
fuck?
He takes out 10,000 won. It's from the Bank of Korea. He takes out 10,000 won and he goes, this is worth $30. And I'm like, first of all, I don't know the
I
exchange
don't know
rate.
the exchange rate of this, but
No chance this is worth
because why
$30.
would you give it to me? You could
And here's another thing, Steven. Even if it's worth $30, I sincerely, as an adult human being, don't know how to exchange money in America. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Do I go to a bank and go, I would
dude,
like my $30?
that so I know it's not technically the first currency that's ever been spent on our comic books, but that should be the thing we display as the first dollar or whatever we ever earned selling comics because that's just
So,
glorious.
so I looked it up, Steven. I looked it up. This 10,000 won, this 10,000 Korean won is worth $7 American. We made a profit.
That's
So
pretty wild. So, I mean, you did profit.
we're not making a profit.
Hold on to that. Who knows what's going to happen in the coming years with tanking economies?
So that man just like shuffled off when we got to our appointment, and that was it. That was our day. We got to we were up $2.
Up $2 in Korean won.
Anyway, if you want to hear actual stories of our creative endeavors and such, hang on, the show's about to start. Hello, welcome to We Have Issues. I'm Anthony,
And I am Stevie Wildcard.
and every week my best friend Stevie Wildcard and I get together and we do our best to cultivate a colony of creative cultists and do our best to craft comics in the world. Every week we talk about our various issues and obstacles and just distractions and things that just stop us from being who we need to be in order to be happy. Or just, successful. And this week is no different. Steven, what did you want to work on this week?
I wanted to get a page of Deathless done. That didn't happen. I did get roughs
Oh,
done.
Steven
I know.
failed.
I did get roughs done, and I did compile the two which I knew there was going to be a double back for Bloodlust. There's always a double back to any comic
Yeah,
or any
of course.
project you create. You always forgot something, So yeah, so I did get those two taken care of, and I did start um Deathless page 7. Yeah, page 7 we're on, by the
Nice.
way, which is cool. We already had six pages done. But yeah, so I didn't accomplish what I wanted to accomplish, but
It was
we're
a good.
back into Deathless,
We're
baby.
Yeah, we're starting to get back into it. So if you're joining us for the first time, first of all, thank you. Second of all, please hit the subscribe button. You can stick around for our random stories and questions and monstery, goodness. But we've been working for the past few years on our series Deathless. It's a supernatural superhero culty comedy comic. We've been publishing each issue through Kickstarter and giving people an opportunity through this podcast to show to
Follow the journey.
the whole journey. Yeah. So right now we are just getting back into Deathless, so it's a really good time to join our show because things are about to get weird. I think this is always like my favorite time where I'm like, oh yeah, we're getting into the Kickstarter stuff. We're gonna get to the point where like we're once we hit the middle of the comic, we're gonna be like, oh yeah, hey world, here's a book you might enjoy.
Here's
And
a whole graphic novel,
dude,
baby.
I can't wait. We're almost there. But until we get there, this week. This week, I didn't know what to work on, Steven. You know what I did? I twiddled my thumbs a bunch, and I was like, I don't know what to do because I have nothing to do with Deathless. I've finished writing it, So I'm just like, what am I supposed to do? What do I work on while I wait for pages to color and all this? So what I did, Steven, is I decided to just publish my novel. I
That's
decided
awesome. I am barely on Twitter, but I logged in and the first thing I saw was your novel and I retweeted it. So it's like the first thing I've retweeted in a
Uh,
minute.
so yeah, dude, it's so crazy to me because I started working on this novel when Atlas was literally a baby. Like he was like just born.
Wow.
Like I was writing it when he would take a nap, I would go and I wrote the first draft on like during his nap times. And then it was just it's like a supernatural like paranormal horror comedy breakup story about this undead guy and his ex-girlfriend, a werewolf and such. It's funny and weird and gross, and I really liked it. The first draft was a mess, so I started fixing it. But then, of course, as Atlas got older, and I was like, I want to be a good dad, I just kind of like lost it for a while. And then I would every once in a while, how you like find projects and you like pick it back up, or like like
Yeah.
a song you're like writing, and you're like, oh, I love this riff, but I don't know what to do with it. And then 3 years later, you're like, oh wait, what if I did this? And it somehow comes back, and you're just like, just little pieces. Like it's kind of cool though because like my life as I've been a parent and as I've gone through my relationship troubles and such, they've kind of like informed the story a little bit and like let the characters like grow and
Breathe
develop.
differently. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's been really interesting for me to go back to because now I've finished it and I'm just like I was basically looking for every excuse not to put it out into the world because I do want it to be special and I wanted to make like art for each chapter and I wanted to do all this stuff, but I was like, the more I do that, the harder it becomes to actually put it out. I'm just always like moving the
Mhm.
goalpost. And I was like, I already have this book that I think is something special. You know, like
Less
I
is more sometimes, it's not
yeah,
like you need to
it's true,
push it.
you know, and I think that's kind of where I landed, where I was like, well, the book is enough, you know, like the book is the thing that I think people will enjoy, and I just want to get it out there, and I hope people like it. So I put it up for pre-orders, and dude, it's number one new bestseller right now.
No way.
Yeah, it's a number one new
That's
bestseller.
amazing,
Yeah, like
dude.
it's already doing really well. And I mean, you know, like there have been a handful of people who read it beforehand, like beta readers and like the like, you know, advanced reader copy peoples. Um, and they all enjoyed it, thankfully. But like, dude, I'm actually kind of nervous because like generally I'm just like, oh, write whatever I want. I do whatever I want. I don't care what anyone says. But then I'm like, oh, people can leave me 1-star reviews and say that I suck and I'm made of garbage. And I was like, crap, I don't want that.
You can let
But
the internet be the thing it is when it
yeah.
all the time.
That's true. But dude, I did it. Like I actually put it out there. So this week I'm going to be setting up the physical copies, and I'm pretty excited for it because I didn't expect people to really buy it. Like I expected that. Like I'm so thankful for, like, if you're watching this right now and you're, you know, one of our regular viewers or one of our friends who have, you know, supported everything we do and have done in the past few years. You know we love you. You know I love you. I'm so thankful for you, and like I I had like a small expectation that like that small group of people would purchase it to show support. But it's like grown, like it's left that bubble where it's like they you know they watered that seed and they're like, ha ha, and I was like, oh my God, because of you all these other people have found it and now it's number one bestseller in
Yeah,
this
it's
field.
amazing.
Like, and it's that's a testament to show you like all it takes is a few people who are like dedicated and like actually believe in what you're doing in order to help it grow and escape the little like weird like echoey chamber bubbles that we all live in. Because like how amazing is that, dude? Like I
That's
just released it a
awesome,
couple
dude.
days ago and that happened. I'm like, I don't know, I'm like beside myself about it. Like I
That's
can't wait.
fantastic, dude. And it's been so long in the wait, in
Yeah.
the making, I guess. It's been, yeah, that's amazing that you have something that you can like work on while
Yes,
waiting.
I exactly. So, it's been a whole ordeal. I'll post the links below. So if you're interested in, you know, picking up the or getting the pre-order of the digital copy, you can do that. I'm also going to set up the physical copy soon. Other than that, Steven, since I'm talking about monsters, we do have a lot of questions from the colony, specifically about monsters, because you and I are monster experts, and we always have been.
We we're actually descendants. I don't know if you knew
Yeah,
this of the Van Helsing bloodline.
it's very true.
Direct descendants. His family specialized in the scythe, like
Yep.
the sickle,
Mhm.
and my ancestors specialized in mitts. So I mean, this is what we do. We hunt all forms of monster. We know all forms because you basically have to be a walking dictionary on monster weaknesses to be able to hunt them. So
100%. So, with our expertise in mind, Stephen, would you mind giving people a good, like, questions from the Colony Monster Edition song?
what goes bump in the night shouldn't bring you fright, 'cause you got your boy Anthony and Steven. They'll guide you through the caves and all the things that would bring you fear, but don't squeeze them. They don't like to be touched. Don't get too close to them. Just give like a 3 foot space. It's personal space, 'cause they're monster hunters and their weapons are big, and you got questions for the colony with Stephen James and Anthony. They're gonna kill the monsters of your nightmares, 'cause they're the best there ever was.
Questions from the Colony Monster Edition.
Bam.
Stephen, that was beautiful.
Thank you, sir.
Wow. If you're joining us for the first time every once in a while, you know, just we post on Twitter, X, whatever social media, and we're just like, hey, ask us questions. And people are like, we maybe. And, you know, so they ask us questions. This time we have some interesting ones. We will start with my wonderful fiance has a few questions for us, Stephen.
Ooh.
She asked, one, if you could date any monster, which would it be? We already answered this before, but my answer is going to be her because she's clearly a monster.
I was just gonna say whatever monster Tina is, like whatever Tina's favorite monster is, that's what I would date.
Yeah. I mean, right now she's she's kind of like a centaur. Like she's like she has the legs. No, no. She's a robot monster. No. Okay. Do you think vampires have to go to the dentist? If so, how often, Steven?
Ooh. So the hardest part about being a vampire, oh no, they don't smell like garlic. So they actually have very clean teeth. However, like the proteins that they, farm out of the blood does make their breath very rich. And since toothpaste is a cleaning agent, it actually is it's purity. So they can't even use it because it would
Oh,
actually burn their gums.
that makes so much sense.
So the less they floss and clean, the healthier their gum tissue is. So actually, they don't need to go to the dentist. The one vampire that ever did go to the dentist, he actually didn't need to be there. The dentist is like, "Oh my God, your teeth are amazing," and I'm
The
not one of
whitest
those
teeth I've ever
dentists
seen.
that rips you off. So I'm just gonna be like, "Yeah, bro, you're doing great." And then he killed that dentist and
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like, "I was hungry."
Yeah, can't
Um,
waste.
but yeah, no, similar to like how they don't really necessarily need to eat. It's like the essences that they're draining.
Right.
Their teeth are just perfect. They don't need to go to the dentist. They, like the blood acts as a cleaning agent.
I agree completely, wholeheartedly. Steven, this is a good question. Is it
Ooh.
unethical for a ghost to possess a zombie?
So if you're referring to the philosophical debate we had in the 1920s about the
Right.
great ghost possession of
Yeah.
the zombified corpse, um, yes. So we discovered that just because the zombies appear to be soulless, they actually do retain some of their past life's like entity. Part of their soul is actually moved on, no matter wherever you think moving on means. But there is a piece left. So yes, possessing them does bring with it the same level of it's not nice if they would evolve, and possess a human. So yes,
Right. There's
possessing a
still a question
zombified,
of
yeah,
consent because there's still
there
conscious
is, because the
there.
zombie, although not the same person,
Right.
they do retain some of the entity that was once in their, husk.
That's a good point. Because there is some of them there, I understand like they wouldn't want it to be suppressed. There is the argument that would say that some people think the majority of the spirit that's moved on would prefer if a spirit or an entity of some sort would take control of the body so it doesn't eat, random brains and
That
such.
is,
But
here's the thing that the ghost isn't taking into account is that once you merge with a being, you kind of gain some of the things you kind of want, the same things that the being wants. You are still your own, entity. But basically what happens is these ghosts become zombie hunters. Like they just want to eat people now, but now they have intelligence to do so because they're ghosts.
I was gonna say, can you imagine you take over a body, you're like, oh, don't worry, you're not going to be a zombie anymore. You don't have to eat people, and it's just Jeffrey Dahmer.
It's just
It's just like, oh wait, this
this is
person
the wrong
is
ghost to
wrong. I
enter
should not have done
this husk in particular.
that. Okay. Could a werewolf make a decent house pet? Why or why not, Steven? I mean, first of all, it's slavery, so but I mean, we're
Yeah, because the werewolf, since a werewolf is
getting
human,
getting a little
it's a little like
long
if
gray.
it's like
We
I
don't
guess if werewolves like lived by the same rules cats live by, then yes, it would be perfectly fine because cats basically
yeah,
look at you as
they
their tenant. Like, you're living in their house, so like I
Could you imagine a
guess
werewolf just like knocking over like
oh
cups?
like just you get no, no, don't you dare. He
Do it.
just shimmies it right off the
Just doing
counter.
that random like thing where they run around and just jump on things. Like there's
Oh man, the zoomies.
the
Like
zoomies. Yeah. Okay, Stephen, what is the pluralization of Bigfoot?
biggest fetus.
There it is. Oh, the last the last question from Carly or at Katie Carlisle. If a dingo ate that woman's baby, are dingoes now considered monsters?
Ooh. So wait, are we going with the anything that ever consumes human flesh a monster? Because if that's the case, there's a lot of monsters in the world, like sharks, crocodiles,
Even
hippos. Hippos are known.
yeah.
Me, yeah, you. I mean,
We've all
we've
eaten
all we've all tasted the forbidden fruit. I mean,
them. So the answer
and
is
if you're in the colony,
yeah.
you have too.
Oh, you
No, I'm just
definitely
kidding.
have. You know, you know what
What do
that,
you
you know
think
what's in
that
that
dirt
dirt.
Kool-Aid
Yeah, you know
is?
what's in that
That's
dirt.
ground bone, baby. It's not dirt.
For those of you joining us for the first time, there are a lot of random in jokes. You can find them in our various, what was it, 260 previous episodes.
Yeah, I was like
We
scrolling through them to find
Yeah,
my
we,
Ferris
we, we
Bueller
try to
stunt.
give people a little context every once in a while. But yeah, we're creating an ostrich colony cult with dirt Kool-Aid. So there's that. Our next question comes from JD Beasley. Did Frankenstein poop or was his crack soda, Steven?
Ooh,
Here's the thing. Fun fact: the monster pooped as much as he could, as long as the day was long. But
as long as
but the scientist, however, sewed his butt up. He's like, I don't have time for this.
So actually, something that people don't understand and why he was so adamant about bringing life to something that is inanimate is that Dr. Frankenstein had severe IBS and extreme constipation to the point where he'd be blocked up for weeks at a time. Um, I mean,
He needed
that's
he
why
needed a secondary poo story.
he needed
For
a
it.
giant monster to be able to squeeze him like a tube of toothpaste to get that blockage out. So,
It's Steven, that might be my favorite theory for why Dr. Frankenstein did what he did.
dude, now
Okay.
I'm just imagining Dr. Frankenstein is back and like the Frankenstein like doing like the leg roll thing that you do to get a kid. Like, all right, oh, I'm covered in Franken poop.
And that answers that
That's
question.
that story.
So Joanna Marie asks us a couple of questions. She said, "Are monsters really the bad guys? Because Scooby Doo always told us it was the people." Now, here's the thing about the Scooby Gang that everyone forgets. Okay, they're right. All of those people are ghosts. They just don't rip off enough faces to reveal the ghost. If you, it's like a Tootsie Pop.
Could you
Okay.
imagine? Could you imagine if Fred was just like, "Oh, so you're a ghost, huh? I'll make you a ghost." He just, sir, that's my hair. That's my actual.
Just peel you like a
Fred,
banana
please,
going
Fred,
into
come not Daphne. You shut up.
the but yeah, the people are definitely the bad guys. I mean, they are breaking and entering most of the time, right?
So I think monsters become the quote unquote bad guys if they're sentient. Like if they are spatially aware of their surroundings,
Yeah.
and are understand life and death and understand, like all those things that are attached to it. One could make the argument that we have done damage to the planet or something like that. And this monster would have a reason for blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, in my opinion, if the monster is aware of what it's doing and it's murdering innocent people,
If it's
it's
no
murdering
werewolf.
innocent people, and therefore it is a monster. A werewolf is probably like the tricky point because werewolves aren't in
I
control,
said
right?
I said Steven. I said N a werewolf. That's it's a self-aware wolf. It knows what
It's a
it's doing.
self-aware wolf. Here's the thing: when I transform, I actually get more passive and calm, but I like to kill. What?
Loved it. Okay, let me see. Does anyone ever think of how vampires feel being vitamin D deficient and yet the sun burns them?
Hmm.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like people don't often think like, oh, like how's that vampire? Does that vampire miss the sun? Like
We
maybe
we
that's like
got medicine boosters now, buddy. You don't have to be killing humans.
even like Deacon Frost in Blade. He's like, oh, sunscreen. I'm out in the sun, baby. Like, I mean, there are ways you can get a nice umbrella. You get a poncho, depending on the time of year.
If you're Spike, it's just like he's slow. You don't die instantly. Your hand kind of catches, and you need to get the hell out of it. But
Hey, get a little toasty. It's great. All right, we have a bunch of questions, or we have at least three questions from our friend Fowler. Hi, Fowler. He says,
power.
which movie, in your opinion, has the best werewolf, Steven?
Ooh, we've had the best werewolf transformation to this day. I still think is American Werewolf in London.
Yeah,
But the best looking werewolf, Van Helsing had a really good werewolf.
that was cool.
Underworld had some really good werewolves too,
Yeah.
in my opinion. In fact, I always liked Michael's like hybrid transformation very much in that movie.
I need to watch
Um,
this again.
yeah, it's been a minute. Actually, Cammy's at that age now where those movies are
Yeah,
probably okay.
right.
So maybe I should like get her into those because she loved Buffy. So, um, best werewolf. I think it's either Van Helsing or Underworld for me, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard because I agree with you. Like the werewolf transformation, like the American Werewolf in London, just it still beats everything, which sucks because you'd think like, come on,
Something would have
we can do
changed by
better.
now.
But no, like it's still it's still the
I
best.
don't like, and the reason why is because even though CGI has increased dramatically, I still know I'm looking at CGI when I'm looking at
It's
CGI.
always so
The thing
odd.
about the American Werewolf in London is it's body horror. It's like
Yeah,
you do feel like you're seeing something shift and break and snap and distort. Like you feel it. You
really
feel him
rough.
going through it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And
Oh, yeah, they do. But as far as werewolf, the dumbest answer that is absolutely true is my favorite werewolf is actually a vampire because
ooh,
it's Dracula from Bram Stoker's Dracula.
oh yeah, that
When he
because
does his like wolf
mm,
beast form, it's amazing. It looks so cool. If I saw a werewolf movie and what it looked like was Dracula's wolf form, like as a monster werewolf or monster wolf creature form, when he's like over the woman, was it Lucy or when he's
mhm.
like over the woman, he's hunched over. That form is so cool. I would love to see a werewolf movie with the creature like that.
That is really good too because and I think this is the problem, at least in my opinion. Everyone has their own opinion on how a werewolf should look. But I always feel the hardest thing about a werewolf is how much man and how much wolf are you making this thing, right?
Right.
And I feel like too many movies, especially recently, like
Yeah.
Wednesday did it,
Yep.
even the Harry Potter movies did it. The werewolves are so like thin and lanky looking, and I don't like that aesthetic for them at all. Like it's fine, it's cool, it serves a purpose, but like I like the true hybrid of like humankind and wolf merged into this one being. And that movie, you're right, Bram Stoker's Dracula has like the most human looking beast at the same
Yeah.
time, you know?
It's something special. It doesn't look like anything I've ever seen, and it was just really neat, and I'd love to see a werewolf movie like that. Let me see. He also says, "Do you have a favorite monster? If so, which one?"
Oof. I do like werewolves a lot. I was always one that like I loved vampires. I loved the Lost Boys is my favorite movie. If I could be a vampire from Lost Boys, I'd probably go that route. But like overall, if I could control my transformations and
Yeah.
be a werewolf,
Oh,
I'm
that's so cool.
so game on being a werewolf, you know?
Hmm. Favorite monster. I mean, yeah, werewolf. It's hard to not choose werewolf. I mean, like I love John Carpenter's The Thing. Like that
I was
monster is really good. It feels like
uh,
cheating though because it can look like basically anything, and it takes the form of crazy like nonsense. Which, by the way, I'm going to see that next week in the movie theaters.
really
I'm so excited. Or in a couple weeks, I think. But like, yeah, it's coming to the theaters, and I was like, I bought tickets immediately. I was just like, oh my God,
that's
okay. I'm
awesome.
so excited, dude. Let me see. His last question was, we call him a monster, but isn't it really Frankenstein who is the monster and not the thing he created? Well, yeah, but he had to get the poop out, baby.
Didn't you listen, bro? The toothpaste
Listen,
tube
dog.
squeeze?
Okay. Oh, Joanna asked three more questions. Okay, these are our final questions. One, if a vampire is killed with a stake and a werewolf with silver bullets, what happens to them when they die? Do they become ghosts?
Ooh, so I guess it depends on the version of vampire. Werewolf would could potentially become ghost because I consider a werewolf a human. So if a human can become a ghost, then a werewolf can become a ghost. If a human can transcend
Ooh.
to
Steven, what
ooh,
if
you just howled.
what if the werewolf though, when it becomes a ghost, every full moon it becomes like demonic, like a banshee, like a poltergeist, like a
Mm,
true angry
dude,
spirit, right?
that's epic. Like being like a haunting spirit, but otherwise you're like a passive
You're
chill
a passive
spirit
spirit. You're like, yeah, you're just a spirit, and then suddenly the violence of your death and of your life as this beast takes over with the full moon, and now you are an angry, poltergeist. Similarly, what if that's why ghost stuff happen most often at night in the darkness, not in the
because
sunlight, because vampires there are no more vampires, but there are the spirits of the previously undead.
and they're just like can't bite
Yeah,
him, can't
who
bite
can't
him,
take
can't
the,
do it.
I want to bite them, but
And
I
now,
can't.
if you think about it, they've all become Collins because they drain our energy. You ever
Yeah,
all ghost scriptures like, oh, I feel suddenly cold, or oh, my energy, I feel depleted. It's because
yeah,
there's like they're hocus pocus sucking that energy,
I love it.
Dude, what if though? What if when a werewolf dies,
Mhm.
they become a ghost, right?
Okay.
And if they want to pass on to a good afterlife, they have to like survive and destroy the gauntlet of ghouls that they created while they were a werewolf. Like they
Nice.
become a
Yeah, yeah,
spirit, and then all the spirits of those they've killed, it's almost like a Mortal Kombat situation
yeah.
where they have to like fight
Nice.
their way through to
Have
like
to fight their
pass
way
on.
through all their victims.
Yeah.
God.
Be pretty wild.
Their carnivorous lunar
I'm gonna
activity.
kill you again. How does this get him to heaven? I don't
I
know.
don't know. The
It's the
math doesn't check out,
rules.
but it's fun to watch. It gets the people going. Um, so Joanna also asked, if you're a superhero with superpowers, does the ghost version of you retain those powers? This is a great question.
Dude, that is a great question.
This
Like,
is a
could you
great
imagine
question.
being Spider-Man and just like sensing danger but not needing to avoid it ever
Oh,
because like you're a
yeah.
ghost?
A ball comes flying at your face. Just like, oh
Like,
yeah, I'm non-corporeal. Yeah, that's interesting because I always imagine ghosts have their own set of powers. But then again, like Dead Man is practically a ghost and a superhero at the same time. So it's like I have that's interesting. Do you have different powers? I guess because I imagine like a person with various abilities, if ghosts are real, would retain some of those abilities in various forms, right? Like if you could maybe like that's why some banshees or like scream or whatever. Maybe you hear singing in the darkness because someone had like a great singing voice and they love singing as a person, whereas other
the show Ghosts kind of does that actually.
yeah.
Like one of the characters in Ghost, what's her name? I can't think of her name right now. Alberta. Alberta, she was like a jazz singer like from the
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
1920s, and she can actually, they find out in one of the episodes that her voice actually can talk to Amazon Alexas and stuff like that
Oh,
because
that's awesome.
her
Yeah,
voice actually transcends like the because she was a singer. So that
nice.
like that show kind of covers that somewhat. Yeah, like each ghost kind of has their own power from what they had when they were alive. And they weren't necessarily superhumans when they were alive, obviously, but
So I
yeah.
think like insofar as you
So
have
Iceman is like making it colder in the room for you. Like
yes. I was gonna say, insofar as you have like an innate superpower, yes. People like Tony Stark or Bruce Wayne, they're just like, I'm not rich anymore.
I'm solving ghost calculus over here. Why don't you just
that's
calm
all.
down?
That's all they can do. All right. And Joanna's last question, and our final question for our questions of the colony segment is: do monsters ever dress up and act like humans to scare other monsters, Steven?
Yes, and they dress up like me to terrify the children.
Oh my God, Steven, no one's scared. No one should be scared of you. You're wonderful and perfect, and we love you. But otherwise, thank you so much for listening to our questions segment. If you have questions for us, you can ask them below in the comments. We'll try to get all to them next week. Otherwise, you can join us on Patreon. You can join us on X/Twitter and ask us there, and we'll answer whatever nonsense questions or sincere questions. If you have questions about Steven and I, you want to know about our lives or our histories or our futures or our presents, let us know. We'll answer whatever you have. Otherwise, at the end of every show, we just talk about what we're going to do next. So, Steven, what are you doing this week? What's your plan?
I am full speed ahead on Deathless issue 4 that Anthony has already completely written. So yeah, I should probably do a cover for that soon so you
Yes,
can start
we need
putting
that
that way
space.
you actually have something to
That'll
work on.
that'll definitely be my next like once I get that cover, that's like what I'm gonna head into. Um, This week, I'm going to solidify my physical copy of Table Scraps, my novel. I'm going to put that up for pre-order so people can start purchasing it because I want it to. It's going to release on October 1st. That's my plan.
That's
So I like
awesome.
I'm not going to do like the super long like oh like a year in advance like pre-order thing. I know it helps a lot of people. I'm just going to do it. I just want to like I'm just pulling the trigger. I'm like, listen, this is a spooky season, silly, fun horror comedy book.
Perfect timing. It's
It's perfect
September. It's
timing.
fall. We even had it was a little cool outside this morning in Florida. Did
Yeah,
you feel that before the sun
yeah,
came up?
dude.
Well, around, I mean, the first couple hours it was still cool.
Yeah,
So
I'm so excited for just for this like cool season to hit us because we all need it. We
mhm.
need a break. But
Yep.
yeah, that's what I'm doing this week. That's what we're doing this week. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for being a part of this silly show that we do every week. If you want to check out our comics, you can find them on Amazon. They're still available. At least a few of them are. We also have them on our website. We have issuespodcast.com. You can find the physical copies and the digital copies there. If you want to talk to us if you want to have us on your show or talk to us and ask us silly questions on your show or have us ask you questions, let us know. We'd love to join you. Want to get this stuff out and get our books out to as many people as we possibly can. Stephen, what would you like to say to all the people before we go?
Thank you so much for tuning into the live episode last week. We love each and every one of you for that. Thank you so much for tuning in each and every week and continuing to allow us to have our dream. We love each and every one of you very much.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you so much. We really are so thankful. I didn't expect so many people to show up. It was a lot of fun last week, and
It was fun. It was
It seemed like people really enjoyed it. Let us know if you want us to do more live episodes because now I know how to do it and how to set everything up, and it's
Honestly, that might not even be a bad idea in and of itself to just do it a little more often to save you editing time
yeah.
too.
I
So
mean, because it definitely saves me editing time, and honestly, I do want to practice like not being as nervous in those situations. I don't know why I get all in my head. Like it should just be the
you're
same.
fine. You're
I just,
fine.
dude, oh God, I don't know why. I'm so it's so silly, just like getting like that. But anyway, thank you all. Let us know below if you want us to do more live shows. If you're interested in like joining us and like participating in chat or whatever, we would love to have you, and we'd love to hear from you. But thank you so much. And we really do appreciate all of your reviews and your love and your support and all of your kindness and friendship. But until next time, I'm Anthony,
I am Stevie Wildcard.
and this has been We Have Issues. We'll see you next week.
Boom, 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 boom.
Most things, Steven. Steven, tell me, did anything funny happen at Sunsplash? Or like,
Dude, so my one thing that was cool is that Chasey, man, she's so little and she's just the tallest, like most vertical slide. She was just running up and going down in as much as she could, man. It
wow.
was yeah, they had a good time, and it was really fun actually. It was fun to go
Yeah,
do
I've
that.
never been to Sunsplash. My only memory of like a water park is when I was a kid. I
Okay.
remember going down a slide at a water park and being like, I had that moment where I was like, I did it. I did the scary one. I did it. Like, and I get up out of the water and I'm like, yeah, I had that moment, like that freeze frame moment, and someone came down the slide. I was like,
It just
Steven,
wiped you out.
that's the way, like it was my I bet you're wondering how I got here moment. Like completely
Just
like
a big dude, just like full cannonball mode. Like
I was tiny, so it's like I couldn't tell you for sure, but like it was probably the largest person I've ever seen in my entire life. Like I didn't actually it was the first time I died, Steven. That's what it was. There's no way.
that was the first divergent like
That was
line
the
in your
first line. It's
existence.
like, oh, this is gonna be a weird life.
Turns out there was a lot of branches early on in Anthony's life.
That's
There was
actually, Steven, that's such a good way to start a story about multiple timelines and like consciousness jumping the way we like joke about all the time. It's just like, well, the first time Anthony died.
yeah.
Just
Dude,
like,
I would love it because if it was like the intro to a movie, you would have the diagram of the timeline going straight and then like the it dying and then a branch coming and then two branches and then
yeah,
like